Welcome to Catholic Plus, where we are finding faith in fun. Join me as we mine entertainment for the treasures of our faith to serve you and the new evangelization. Now, one of the objections that comes up against films in the Star Wars and Marvel universes, sometimes raised by Catholics or other Christians, is the amount of fighting. Understandably, parents can be concerned about violence in media. Thankfully, Disney takes this under consideration, and as a minimum, they reduce gore in films. But the objection remains that there is still a lot of fighting. While there are many people who are concerned about this, there are also people who feel drawn to the battles that take place throughout Marvel and Star Wars. So, is this acceptable if we are living as disciples of Jesus Christ? Perhaps this is just my masculinity talking, but I think deep down within our human person, we all recognize the need for battle and fighting, especially between the forces of good and evil. In the spiritual realm, we call this spiritual warfare, and the battle rages constantly whether we are aware of it or not. Keep in mind Jesus' words from Matthew 10:34. "Do not think that I have come to bring peace upon the earth. I have come to bring not peace, but the sword." What Jesus is talking about here is there's going to be natural conflict when Jesus enters into the world that does not know him, the world that is opposed to his kingdom. As much as we might like to think that we are mere bystanders in this epic battle between God and his legions of angels against the forces of darkness, that is nowhere near true. We are right in the middle of it, and the battle rages over nothing less than our souls. I would even suggest it is to our detriment to ignore this battle that is taking place, because, as many people have commented, the greatest victory Satan has ever won is convincing people that he does not exist. The more we are aware of the spiritual battle ensuing all around us, and the way the forces of darkness may use things like secular culture, eroding values, and even direct attacks against the truths of our faith and the church, the better we can be at countering these covert attacks of our enemy. And this is true even as far as something as simple as the temptation that we experience on a regular basis. Spiritual warfare involves this battle between good and evil, not only within the world, but also what we experience within our own hearts and even many times throughout our day, the choice between good and evil. Furthermore, we need to take extremely seriously how much spiritual warfare directly impacts our spiritual life. Spiritual warfare is intimately tied to our growth in holiness and virtue. What does this have to do with entertainment? When we see the visible and overt battle taking place between the heroes of Star Wars and Marvel against their enemies, who more often than not are obviously evil, that should stir up a subconscious, if not fully conscious, recognition of the subtle spiritual battles taking place within our own hearts and among us within the world. If you agree, be sure to click that like button. And if you'd like to see more from Catholic Plus about Star Wars, Marvel, and more, click the subscribe button and tap that bell icon. Now, rather than shying away from the heroic battles taking place in Marvel and Star Wars, I invite Catholics to consider how the battles reflect our calling to take up holy arms against evil. St. Paul in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 through 17 talks about this in the following. "Finally, draw your strength from the Lord and from his mighty power. Put on the armor of God so that you may be able to stand firm against the tactics of the devil. For our struggle is not with flesh and blood, but with the principalities, with the powers, and the world rulers of this present darkness, with the evil spirits in the heavens. Therefore, put on the armor of God, that you may be able to resist on the evil day, and having done everything, to hold your ground. So stand fast with your loins girded in truth, clothed with righteousness as a breastplate, and your feet shod in readiness for the gospel of peace. In all circumstances, hold faith as a shield to quench all the flaming arrows of the evil one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God." Let's apply this to our superhero friends. Like Iron Man, put on the armor to stand firm against the tactics of evil and hold our ground. Gird your loins with the truth like Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is ever reliable and faithful to the truth. Let's have a breastplate like Thor to do the right thing and shoes like Star-Lord to fly where God leads us, and hold fast to our faith like Captain America holds his shield to deflect the attacks of the evil one. Let's have a helmet of salvation like the clones of Star Wars who were obedient like a disciple and willing to lay down their lives for others. And finally, a sword like the Darksaber with the power to lead all Mandalorians like the Bible guides our faith. By the way, special thanks to Riley for some of these great connections. So, what do you think? And did I miss anything? Comment below so that we can share more spiritual insights together. If you're proud to be Catholic and a fan of Marvel and Star Wars, click the share button below to help evangelize with us. Special thanks to all Catholic Plus patrons who make all of this possible. To see the thank you gifts you can receive by supporting Catholic Plus, check out our Patreon page in the description below. Remember, the Lord will be with you always.